This is mine.
Let go. Let go of everything. Let go!
Thousands of enemies. You're the only one who made me forget.
I'm the top floor, smoking on dope. Feeling like two and not bitching alone. Rocking out all white, feel like the Pope. Ballin' this bitch, I'm feeling the
Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Vol Core. This is the Vol Core YouTube channel, and I'm Elijah Edwards. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about how Bru McCoy is coming back for one more year, one last ride with Tennessee, and I think this is so big for the program. It's going to be such a big moment and year with him at receiver. We're also going to be talking about, is he going to be one of the biggest targets for Nico in 2024? I think so, because he brings a lot of physicality and he has strong hands. Also, HEUPEL's been reloading the offense very quietly through the portal, through recruiting classes. I mean, he is really reloading, and I think he's really getting set to unleash it all next year. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So get ready for this one because it's going to be a good one. So right here we have this article from USA Today, wrote by Adam Sparks. He's from the Knoxville News Sentinel. He's a really good journalist. I love him. I love all of his articles. Tennessee wide receiver Bru McCoy will return for the 2024 season rather than entering the NFL draft, he announced Tuesday on Instagram. He said, "Can't wait to run it back next year. Thank you, Vol Nation, for all the love and support," McCoy wrote. "I love this team, staff, and university, and I look forward to giving my all for Tennessee one more time." And I can't wait. I think he brings so much passion to this team. I think he's a great leader for the receiver room. It's a very young receiver room. A lot of new guys coming into the receiver room. You've got Squirrel coming back, so he's basically a veteran at this point. But then you've also got BRAZZEL, new guy. You got Holden STAES, new guy. And you've got Caleb Webb. I'm hoping Dante Thornton comes back, because I think that would take a lot of the stress off of Caleb Webb and Chaz Nimrod, because they'll still be relatively young. I think they'll both be sophomores next year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a big moment because Bru is a really good blocking receiver. He's a really physical receiver. He gets after people, and he's not afraid to just blow people up and blow by them. And I think it brings a great leadership aspect to the receiving room, and I think it brings a physicality aspect to the receiving room. It's got the, because Bru's really, next year, he'll be that one veteran guy, that one guy that everybody's going to look up to. And I think without him, this receiving room would have been a lot different, to say the least. Obviously, everybody knows that he went down and got hurt in the South Carolina game, which was a season-ending ankle injury. I mean, that was just gruesome ankle injury. His whole ankle was like backwards. It was really, really hard to look at. And to show the love and effort to come back to this game, and let alone to come back to Tennessee and not go to the draft and take the easy route, to see that I didn't expect him to come back. I thought for 95, at least 90% that he was going to go to the draft. And we're also adding Chris Brazzell. That is going to be a big, big addition to this receiving core. Brazzell is a really speedy, really elusive guy that can catch the ball and get open. He's kind of like a Jalen Hyatt 2.0. It's really, really cool to watch him play at Tulane. So he's going to be really cool. And then also adding Holden STAES from Notre Dame, literally the exact same size as Brock Bowers. So, am I saying he's going to be Brock Bowers? No, but I'm saying that he is a similar build to Brock Bowers, and he's a similar skill set to Brock Bowers, and I think it's a great addition for this offense to be able to have a fast tight end that can also block, because he can block really well. Holden STAES can block like nobody's business. So, overall, Heupel's really reloading this offense, and it's really cool to watch. And we're also going to look into a little bit on Chris Brazzell. What was his stats? What did his stats look like for the 2023 season at Tulane? He played in 13 games, had 44 catches, 711 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Now, those stats may look a little lackluster, but if you watch this guy play and you watch the film on him, it is ridiculous the skill set that he brings. And I think that Heupel's going to be able to do a lot of special things with this kid. And I think he's actually, I'm going to go as far as saying, put him on the radar to be one of Tennessee's best receivers next year. I'm going to go ahead and jump the gun and say that. So watch out for Chris Brazzell. Remember the name, because he's going to be really, really special next year. And then we're going to look at Holden STAES stats, the tight end from Notre Dame that transferred to Tennessee. 15 catches, 176 yards, and 4 touchdowns. To have 15 catches all year and have 4 touchdowns, that's ridiculous. That's almost 1/3 of his catches being touchdowns. Now, obviously, he's not going to do that at Tennessee, and he's not going to have 1/3 of his catches being touchdowns. But that just shows the playmaking ability of Holden STAES. And, you know, his size is actually really similar to Brock Bowers. Like, his build and size is really similar. 6'4", 242. I'm pretty sure Brock Bowers is 6'4", 241. So, you know, this guy really does have the potential to be a special player. And I think the blocking ability he brings will be a really important thing, because Nico, obviously being a smaller quarterback, more prone to injuries, so his blocking ability brings a lot. But his big hand, like his catching ability and his ability to make plays in space, is another thing. That's a big thing. So we're going to look at one of his highlights, actually, that's down here in the corner. This is a touchdown catch, it looks like.
Third goal. Hartman to pass. Hartman looking for his tight end. Holden STAES. He's got another touchdown. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Catch that same kind of ball. It's just a drag route.
So if you look at that ability, that speed, and that he's really big, and he's also got a pretty decent speed. You know, the speed that he brings and the ability to run routes is something that we really haven't seen at Tennessee too much with tight ends. I mean, Castles was pretty close to that, but he still really wasn't as good as Holden is going to be at it. And we're actually going to look at his longest touchdown of the season. This one really shows off his speed and shows his ability to make catches and make plays in space, and I think it's a really good highlight.
Over 100 yards again, Estime for the second time in 3 games this season. Hartman throws it out wide. Here's STAES again. He stays in bounds and goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Just play action right up the middle, and you'll see Holden STAES just slip right out into the flat.
So yeah, that right there took some really good speed. I think he's not the fastest guy ever. Brock Bowers is way faster. But his ability to make that play, that none of our tight ends this year could have done that. They would have gotten pushed out of bounds, gotten a 15, 20-yard gain. His ability to be able to stay in bounds on that play and to be able to outrun the safety and the DB and the linebackers is really intriguing to see, and at the very least I think he's somebody to watch out for Tennessee in 2024. This was a big pickup for Heupel. We really didn't have anybody in the tight end room prior to getting Holden STAES, and now it seems like we've got that guy that he's going to go to for most of the season at tight end. So that was a really good pickup and solid effort by Heupel. Another big thing for Heupel is returning Cooper Mays in 2024. Cooper Mays, it seems like he's been at Tennessee for 100 years. He's really the heart and soul of this Tennessee offense. Because, I mean, we saw that with, like, Florida, for example, when Cooper Mays didn't play. I mean, the offensive line was just absolutely terrible. And the second Cooper Mays came back to the offense and came back on that offensive line, the whole outlook on that offensive line changed. And it just seems like they played harder with Cooper Mays there. I feel like he lights this team up. He kind of strikes a fire inside of the offensive line to be able to block better. I think it's a big strong suit if you can go into your draft process being super healthy and showing you can stay healthy a whole year. So basically, his thought process is trying to be able to come back this year and stay healthy the entire year to show the draft, and the NFL scouts that he has the ability to stay healthy for a full year. Because we really haven't had that with Cooper Mays. It seems like Cooper Mays is always injured. So I definitely think the decision makes sense, and I'm really glad he's coming back. I think that's big, especially with the ability to help protect Nico, because like I said earlier, he will be vulnerable to injuries just because of the way he's built and how he's super skinny and tall, and the chance of getting hurt's a lot higher just because of how he's built. So that's a big pickup by HEUPEL. And if you look at this, HEUPEL is really returning this whole offense, really, except for Ramel Keaton and the tight ends and a few offensive linemen. I mean, he really is reloading this offense, and he's done a great job. I'm really impressed with how he's treated the situation and how he's been able to retain a lot of his talent on the offensive end. Now, if you look at the defensive end, he really hasn't been able to retain a lot of talent. It feels like our whole entire secondary has entered the portal at this point, which is really disappointing to see. It seems like everybody's leaving. You've got our best cornerback, Haddon, going to the draft. You've got almost all of our DBs entered the portal. I think we're actually doing pretty good at the linebacker room. I don't think any linebackers have entered the portal as of yet. I think Aaron Beasley will be returning, which is a big one. I think that's a big player, a good key player for next year is Aaron Beasley. Aaron Beasley is a really good linebacker. His ability to read the offense and to be able to do everything, to cover guys, to play into his zones well, to get sacks, all of those things he does really well. So he really, even though our defense wasn't that good this year, he really was a bright spot in this defense, along with James Pierce, who's coming back, who got that pick 6 against Iowa, which was really good. So James Pierce is going to be potentially SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He's a really good edge. And he's also shown the ability to cover, like when he got the pick 6 against Iowa. That ability to kind of pop out and cover a guy. So I'm really excited for next year. I think HEUPEL's done a great job at retaining talent for the most part, except for the DBs. He's not been able to retain his DBs at all. Luckily, we do have a lot of young DBs and cornerbacks that can defend and can come in for him, and a lot of them played against Iowa, and they didn't look bad. There were some rough spots, to say the least, but we also have Keenan Peely returning, who was out this entire season due to an injury in it was either the Austin Peay game or the Virginia game. I'm pretty sure it was the Virginia game he got injured, but he's coming back. He's going to be a good linebacker. He's going to be a good kind of depth guy. Probably a starter, most likely a starter. I wouldn't say depth guy. So I'm excited to see what happens in 2024. I think this is a big year. Will we see HEUPEL progress, or will he continue to regress and we'll maybe get 7 wins? We don't want to regress. If he starts to regress, I think we should be worried considering all the talent we have. I think realistically 9 wins, 10 wins. I think the ceiling for next year's team is 11-1, and the floor is 8-4. Hopefully we fall anywhere from 10-2 to 11-1, but I will be completely happy with 9-3, 10-3. That is a good year, considering what we've been through the past 10, 15 years. So I'm Elijah Edwards, and I'm signing off. I hope you enjoyed the video. More content's coming out soon, and enjoy the rest of your day. Go Big Orange.